Today in class, we learned about the word respect. We talked about how we respect the art room as well as each other. To help us remember this word, we're also going to practice learning a new form of art called lettering. We are going to letter the word respect today using bubble letters. Class, you will be getting two pieces of paper. One is fatter and bigger, and the other is a thin strip that you'll place in the center. Taking a pencil and go very lightly over the top and the bottom of that piece of paper. This is a guide, and you want to draw lightly because you're going to erase that line later. On your table, you also have a paper that says has the alphabet, and this is the correct way to write the letters of the alphabet. And you want to draw these as best that you can, touching the top of the line, going all the way to the bottom of the line that you just drew. And you also want to draw these letters lightly because you will erase these later. This is a guide, and make sure that the E touches the top of the line and the bottom. So one thing you want to avoid is getting your letters too squished together. If you find that they're not fitting correctly, you can always erase these letters. That's why drawing very lightly is important. Or you can flip it over and try again on the back. So make sure your spacing is enough that you can fit all the letters on this line. We are going to transform these straight lines into bubble letters by tracing around the lines. Here is some examples of bubble letters and how the edges look. They're curved instead of straight. So going back to your paper, go around the pointed edges with a curved line. So you're following what you did, but you're curving the edges and you're making it look almost like a balloon. Once you have traced around each line with the thicker curved lines, you are going to the inside and erasing that skeleton letter, that guided letter. You're going to take it away. The only part that you will leave is the curved line in the R and in the P. Erase everything else. That's why it's so important to draw lightly. And you can also erase those guided lines you had earlier and take those away with an eraser. Now the fun part is drawing and coloring. When using markers, make sure that you use the fat side of the marker, not the tip. The fat side covers space more quickly and it makes your lines look even. So you can choose any color scheme that you would like, and you can also choose to use colored pencils, crayons, or markers. Any of these things is fine. If you want to do blending, I would suggest using colored pencils or crayons, but if you want brighter colors, use markers. I trace around the letter and then I fill it in with the fat side of the marker. And then after that's done, I'll go in and outline it with Sharpie. I have placed some papers at your table that have guides on how to add shadowing. You can add shadows with lines, shading, or with dots. I'm using shadow and I'm adding them with lines. First, I Sharpie my entire group of letters to make it look bold and bright. If you use colored pencils or crayons, you don't have to use Sharpie, but you can. And the shadowing will be a little different if you choose to use those. Now with a Sharpie, I'm going to make sure and remind you that in one direction, the sun is casting the shadow. So all of my shadowing is going the same direction. And I do this by just adding quick tick marks along these edges. And I'll hang this example on the board so you can see a better example up close. I trace around those lines, and I have my shadowing. Feel free to add shadowing in different ways, again, using shading or dots. If you need help, look at the guide I have at your table, or you can ask me. Now, you can also add designs to your letters. There is also a guide at your table with different patterns. You can create your own patterns and designs. You don't have to create a design that's in front of you. You can come up with your own design. You can also add fun designs around the word respect. You can choose to create cool lines, zigzags, wavy lines to make the words pop and stand out. And mix your media, add color pencils for shading. I'm going to go into the letters and shade those a little bit, and you can choose whatever way you want to color that in. Enjoy, have fun. And also, don't forget to show respect to those around you today.